pretties. Hello, welcome to Viv's. So this is my first time doing a video overhead like this. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but here it is. So I wanted to do my makeup inventory and declutter all at once and together for this year. It's my first time doing it in this format, but let's be honest, this is the coolest format there is, when you can actually see the product and happening at the same time. This is my favorite kind of a makeup inventory videos that I like to watch. So I figured I'm gonna give it a go. I know this video is gonna come in late because I know the editing for this video is gonna be an absolute pain in the ass. But here we are. I do have my little spreadsheet right here so I can keep track of it. I know for a fact that my little spreadsheet is not accurate, so this is me updating it. But I do have what my makeup inventory was like in January of 2021. So now here we are in December of 2021. I'm filming this on December 28th, so these are gonna change relatively quickly, but there's that. So let's just get started. So we're looking at foundations. In December of 2021, I had 4. And my goal was to be at 3, and I'm currently at 7. So clearly I failed this one. But honestly, it's not too bad. It's not as bad as you may think. So these two foundations, this foundation's technically, the bottle's empty. And because I dunked into this one, it's almost done. So this one will be done relatively quickly. And then we're done with this ones. I did buy a backup of this one because you can see I'm running relatively low. And I never want to be out of that one because the tinted moisturizer. So I do have a backup right here. And then I did repurchase this foundation over here, but I bought it in what I think is my correct shade, which is medium 80W. This one's at neutral 85N. It's just the undertones were really wrong, but the formula is amazing. So I have currently 5. This 2, I'm gonna count them as empty as soon as I finish this bottle, which I have less than this, where this line is. So I should be able to get through this one relatively quickly, and then that means 2 out of my collection. But for now, I'm at 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be done quickly. I think before the midway of point of the year, I'm gonna be out of this one, and I think that will put me where I want to be, which my goal is 4. So I think that's gonna leave me where I want to be. So all right, moving on to the next category. All right, so we're back with primers. So in January, I had 1 primer. And now I have technically 3, but I'm only gonna count 2 because honestly I have like 1 or 2 uses left of this one. So I'm not really gonna count it towards my inventory. And here's just a backup of it. So I have the Pretty Fresh one and then the e.l.f. one. And my goal for this category of primer is 2. I want a hydrating one and a pore filling one, and that's it. I don't know more. We're all good here. All right, next category is concealer. In January of 2021, I was at 3. My goal was to be at 2, but I'm currently at 3 here in December 2021. My goal is to be at 2. I really just have a backup for the Pretty Fresh one, which I think is a better shade match for me. This is 90W, this one's 85N. It's just the wrong undertone. I think this is going to be a better match for me. But for now, I'm going to keep them. I'm going to finish this one because it's not too bad where I can make it work. And that's that. So overall, we're doing. Alright, now we're going to powders. I have very dry skin, so I'm never really too invested into powders. I had 2 at the beginning of the year. I currently have 2. My goal was to be at 1. I had 2 different powders. I didn't have this one. I had one from Cover FX, a mini one before. My goal actually is to stay at 2 because I actually really fell in love with this one right here for number 7. And these 2 powders are the only ones I need. One's a loose one, another one's a pressed powder. So I'm set. I don't need anything else. They're pretty lightweight and I love them. All right, we're now back with color correctors. I currently have 3. And in January, I only had 1, which was this one right here. And I have 3 because I'm trying to replace it. This one, I can't really find it in stores anymore. And it's not really in the Cover FX website. It's almost gone. Like, honestly, it's almost gone. And I ended up buying these 2. This one I haven't opened yet, but this is the next one I'm gonna use. I've used this one a handful of times. I'm telling you right now, this one, it's gone. It's Declutter. So we're really at 2, and we're gonna be at 1 pretty shortly. And my goal is to be at 1. I hope that I really like this one because I'm really struggling with color correctors at this time. So if you have any recommendations, please leave in the link down below because I do want to know what your recommendations are. Alright, and we are here with blush, which is one of my favorite crimes. I started the year with 9 blushes. My goal was to be at 7. I actually did, that's my baby girl. I think that, don't. I did reach my goal of finishing the 2 blushes that I was setting out to do, but I also bought a lot of blushes. So I was not expecting Los Angeles to drop a blush palette. So when she did, I did count each individual pan as a blush. That's my little baby girl's mouth. She really wants to be in the bed. So there's that. I'm not going to be decluttering anything from here. I do have 2 blushes here in the back. This is from ColourPop. This right here, blushes. Then we have obviously this 7 right here. We have the one right here from the Samantha March and Ophir collection from the Life's a Draft palette. I have the 2 from Persona. Okay. Athena, I'm scared. Let's see what happened. Okay, Athena, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, she didn't. Whew. I have the 2 right here from Rare Beauty, and then I have this 2 from ColourPop, and then this one right here from Scott Barnes. So I have a total of 7 blushes. My goal at the end of the year is to be at 15, which means not to bring any more blushes at all for the rest of the year, which we'll see how that goes because one of my favorite categories, and then finish these 2 right here. So that's where that goal came from. Realistically, I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to not bring a I have every blush I need. I do not need any more blushes, but I don't know that realistically that's gonna happen because I know I really want to buy one from Patrick Ta, one of his duo ones, which means I'll potentially gain 2 more in my collection, and hopefully that's not the case. Well, actually, hopefully it is the case, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm currently at 17. I would like to be at 15. That's that. All right. So I had already filmed my bronzer section, but I'm having to refilm it because I just realized I did it wrong. So here we are. So I currently have 7 bronzers. I used to have 1 bronzer, so this section definitely got out of control, especially considering I don't like bronzers like that. I've came to appreciate them a little bit more, like bronzer contour category, but it's not something that I love. These 2 are on their way out of my collection. These are backups for the 2. I don't want to be without them. But this milk one, honestly, I had to depot it. It only has this little bit right there left. So that one's almost done. And then this one right here also is almost done. I'm not sure if you can tell, there's very little product left. So these 2 will be out of my collection relatively quickly. I'm confident I can finish this NARS one by the end of the year. And I could potentially finish this one right here. I don't know that I will be repurchasing it a 4th time or 3rd time. I've definitely repurchased this at least twice. So at least 3 times. I don't know if it's a 3rd or 4th. This one right here. But I actually really enjoyed the cream one from Soul. So I think I'm set with this one. It's a lot more product for the same price. So we'll see. But my goal is to be at the end of the year at, let's see here. I have here 2. I don't think that's actually a realistic goal. I would eventually like to only have these 2. But let's say 4 by the end of the year. I would like to be a 4 at the end of the year. Let's do that instead. Alright, if things changed from the blush to this one, is because they have. My baby girl decided to jump on the chair that I'm using to hold my camera. So I am refilming the whole highlighter section because I failed. It really dampened the whole thing. So in January for highlighters, I had 9. I currently have 17. Way more highlighters than I wanted to have. But it just kind of sort of happened. So I ended up getting the one from the blush palette right here. I haven't tried it. I know the formula is probably going to be good, but I don't particularly care to have wanted it. I really just want the blushes, but it came all together, so it is what it is. This is one that I potentially could declutter in the future. I just haven't actually tried it. I just know that this shade is way too light for me, so we'll see how that goes. I have these 3 highlighters right here. Just gonna look a little close up on those. And then I have all the ones here. I'm a little disappointed. I have this one from Becca. It's a backup of this one right here from Opal, which I wouldn't mind having a backup if I couldn't still buy it. I thought Becca was gonna go out of business and I needed a backup of Opal. However, I found out not too long ago that we actually can still buy them from Smashbox. So that was just really disappointing. So my goal here would be to be at 10 by the end of the year. If I don't bring any more highlighters into my collection, this is actually a very realistic goal. And I really shouldn't be bringing any highlighters because I don't care for highlighters. Like some of these highlighters just kind of came naturally because they were in these two palettes. I didn't really care to it. I obviously bought the backup. And then the only highlighter, and those were the only 3 highlighters that came into my collection in 2021. I just, the ones that came in the palettes and the one, the highlighter, the backup. So that's that. Honestly, I could leave happily with just this 5 highlighters right here. But I'm not going to declutter. I'm not ready to declutter right now. I don't feel comfortable already. I do plan on finishing this blush, this highlighter by the end of the year. It's honestly almost gone. I want to finish these 2 minis right here. And at the end of the year, maybe halfway through the year, I may end up decluttering this one right here. But I'm going to try my best to get some progress on it before I do that. And let's just see how that goes first. My goal is to be a 10 by the end of the year. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, now we're moving on to setting sprays. I have 2. Technically, this is just the backup of this one right here. I'm getting really close to being done with it, and I placed the ColourPop artist, so I decided to just repurchase it. So I'm not going to count it towards my inventory because I know I'm going to finish this one up eventually, and then I'm going to open this one here. So I had 2 setting sprays at the beginning of the year. I technically have 2, one because I'm not going to count it. So it's really just 1. My goal is to be at 1. This is the only setting spray I need. That's that. So just 1. We're set here. Alright, so we're moving on to eyes. For eyes, I had 2 eye primers at the beginning of 2021. And I currently have 2 eye primers. And I wanted to stay that at 2. So no change here. Super happy with the 2 I have. I will keep repurchasing the 2. Although I heard rumor is that this one may be getting canceled soon. I hope not because I really like it. Although there's no way in hell I'm going to go through it quick anytime soon. I have so much product still left. This is supposed to be a 6-month shelf life. I've definitely had it for way, way longer than that. If I at any point see that it's starting to go bad, I will declutter it, but it's still good and it works fine, so I'm keeping it. Alright, we really haven't decluttered much so far, and I'm not surprised because these are sections that are in my collection that are relatively tamed except for the highlighter and the blush. But I really, really, really love blush, and I'm confident I can get through some of those highlighters, so I don't feel like decluttering just yet. But believe me, we're starting to get a little closer to that area, to that, you know, declutter section. But this is not it. This is not it. I never really owned brow products until very, very late recently. I had 1 at the beginning of 2021. I currently still have 1, and I'm probably gonna only have 1. Technically I have 2, but this is really honestly just the backup for this one because I'm starting to run low. I'm like really trying to struggle to get the product out. So I'm not gonna count it as 2. I'm technically gonna count it as 1 because again, this one will be done and I will have to open that one up. So the goal is 1, we're at 1, and we will be at 1. So nothing new here. Alright, so we are on to mascaras. So I had 4 mascaras in January of this year. My goal was to be at 1. I am currently technically at 2. However, this one, declutter. We're done. I've been using it for a little bit over 3 months now, and I've started to notice the formula changing, so I don't particularly care for it. Right now, it's on its way out. So this is the only mascara I own. I haven't opened it, but next time I do my makeup, I will open it. I've never tried this formula before. It's the Lash Princess, which is one of my favorites, but it's in the Curl and Volume, which is a new formula for them. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to try it. But it's the only one I own right now. And yeah, for 1, which is exactly what I want to be. Something that I want to try to do this year is instead of switching out my mascaras every 3 months, is switching it every 4 months, just to make a little bit less waste. So wish me luck. I think it's very, very doable. So alright, so we're on to eyeliners. So I was at 4 at the beginning of the year. My goal was to be at 2, and I'm currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is where we are going to be decluttering. So I am going to be decluttering this 2 from Los Angeles. It doesn't even sell this product anymore. But even though they're really, really nice for the waterline, they stay very well. They're honestly quite dry, and they're very, very, very old where I don't necessarily think it's safe to put them in the eye anymore. They are really nice. Like I said, they're so dry. So these two I'm gonna be decluttering. I'm also gonna be decluttering this one from ColourPop. I honestly can say that I only used it like once or twice. It's actually in really good shape, although it is getting a little old. I think I've had it for 2 or 3 years, but I only used it like 5, maybe 6 times. I'm gonna see if my sister is interested in having it because I don't particularly care for it. I just find that when I do like what I would use for a liquid liner, I end up just using regular shadow. And then I did recently just buy these like in the last month or so, and it's a black, nude, and brown liner. So essentially replacing these two with nicer, newer, creamer formulas. So yeah, and then I have a new brown liner that I've never owned before. And then I have this one right here. I don't particularly like this in my waterline. I see that it doesn't stay very well, but I'm gonna try to still finish it up and just get it out of my collection because the formula is not too bad. It just doesn't stay very well, and I see it transferred to my bottom lash line a little bit, and I don't like that. But I do want to finish it. I'm currently at 4. My goal is to be at 3. All right, so we are now back with single shadows. So I have 4 right here from Makeup Geek. I have 4 right here from ColourPop and Bad Girl Shea collab that I had back in 2019. I have this 2 from Urban Decay. This one's from Ulta. This one is from ColourPop. It's my only loose one that I have like that. This one's I just got from JG Glow. This one's I just got from Cliona. I really like the Cliona ones. These 2 are from the Sephora brand. The kit. Should have maybe moved it a little bit. Okay, this is a depotted one from the, oh, there you go, better. Okay, so this is a depotted one from Tarte. These are right here, 10, or 12, are from Lara Los Angeles. And then all of these ones are from ColourPop. So we are gonna be decluttering here. I am confident I can finish this one, so I'm not worried about that. But these one, so by the way, this comes out to 66 shadows. I used to have 55 at the beginning of the year, but I did buy these 2 this year, and then I bought this ones. So a lot of more duochromes. I do want to expand my single shadows collection, specifically in the duochrome area and whatnot. I did finish a couple of like white little matte ones right there, but I do want to declutter this ones right here. They're kind of to the side. I make sure to like separate them from those. So I have, let's see, Set to Stun from ColourPop. It's a Super Shock. We have Super Hardcore. Let's see, Heiny from ColourPop, and No Kill LA and Lara Lee. Also from No Kill LA and ColourPop is Catnap. This one, I believe, no, that one's not from the Lara Los Angeles collection. Cheap Date. We have Paradox. And we have Amaze. So the deal with these Super Shocks is that they're honestly 5 years old. Hold on a second. Okay, all of these ColourPop's Super Shocks are 5 years old. I bought them in 2017. Although they are still creamy, they're still very usable. Like even this one right here, it's still creamy. Like I feel it, and it's still very much so soft to the touch. My thing is, and they still perform very well, it's that they're very old. They're 5 years old. They are for sure expired, even if they don't act like they're expired. And because they're cream shades, I just don't feel comfortable. I really haven't reached for them. A lot of them have pan. I have gotten a lot of use out of them. Like this one's almost done. This one has a massive pan. This one has pan. This one has pan. This one has pan. So it's really only these 2 shades that don't have pan. And I don't think I'm ever gonna hit pan on these 2 shades because they're not shades I usually like lean towards. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter those. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that puts me at 59 single shadows. I do plan on finishing both this cream shadow as well as this cream shadow, and they're not literally cream, but like the cream color. I want to finish both of these by the end of the year. I think that's very doable. That's kind of what I finished this year. I think I took finish 3 actually. Very doable. And I think I'll be very happy for that. So I think, as I'm currently at 57, my goal actually is to be at 75. I don't think, I'm not necessarily trying to reach for that goal, but I do want to place another Cliona order because this shadows right here from Cliona impressed the living hell out of me, and I would like to buy some more at a later time, and so I want to give myself a little wiggle room for that. Will I be buying 16 shadows? Potentially, probably not to be honest, but I want to give myself a little wiggle room. I also really want to buy what's it called, Space Cowboy from the Urban Decay ones. So there's that. So I'm currently at 59. This number, I'm giving myself room to grow. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, everyone's favorite part. We're moving on to eyeshadows. If the lighting keeps changing throughout the video, it's because I'm literally having to hold the light like in my hand, because otherwise it like just looks weird if I so that's what we're doing. So this is I decided to break it up by brand because I honestly couldn't fit all the palettes in here. But I have 4 palettes here. I have 2 from Persona and I have 2 by Morphe. Was seriously debating decluttering the 24G, but I am not going to declutter at this time. Persona has some of my favorite eyeshadow formula. So, oh, excuse me. Jesus Christ. I'm not planning on decluttering either one of those. So right now, I'm pretty happy. I have 4 right now. Alright, so we're moving on to Laura Los Angeles. I own literally every single eyeshadow palette she's come out with. So I have 7 here total. That adding up the ones that I have 4, that puts me at 11 so far. I'm not planning on decluttering any of these. I love them all. My like literally top 3 eyeshadow formula right next to Persona Cosmetics. So not going anywhere. None of these are. And I potentially will be adding more in my collection. If she drops another palette, I will for sure be grabbing it at launch. So potentially adding to. But I have 8 palettes from ColourPop. I'm not planning on decluttering any of them. The Sweet Talk palette was in my chopping block, but I've really come around to it since I added it to my eyeshadow obsessions project pan or challenge, whatever you want to call it. And I'm currently not ready to part with any of them. However, I can in the future see myself depotting these and only saving the shades that I want. I can 100% see myself doing that in the future, just not right now. So that 8 added to the 11, we're currently at 19. So there's that. All right, and we're finishing eyeshadows with palettes that I only own 1 from the brand. I know I went a little backwards. This little tiny thing, it's barely considered a palette, but I'm counting it as one. Even though it's super tiny and there's only 5 shadows, but I'm counting it. I am not ready to part with any of them. I haven't even tried the Natasha Denona one here. FYI, look out for a video of that. So just putting that out there. The Sigma Enchanted was a huge disappointment, but I'm not ready to give up on it just yet. However, I am ready to part with this Lime Crime Venus palette, so tossing that to the side. That puts us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I have one more. Holy crap. Hold on a second. Okay, so I was actually missing this one from Pixie right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That does put us at 27 palettes. I actually would be ready to part with this palette, but I decided to put this in there you go, in a Panda palette. So expect an intro to that soon, but just not yet. So yeah, there's that. We're at 27 eyeshadow palettes. My goal is to be at 30, and I was at 22. So it definitely increased this number. And there's that. All right, we're back. I'm a little out of breath. I thought I had a lip gloss in my car and I spent like ages looking for it and I couldn't find it. So it is what it is. So we're moving on to lips. I have 3 lip liners. My goal is to be actually at 3. These are the same 3 I started the year with. That's the same things I'm at. I do not want to own this one anymore, but I do want to own like a rosy one, because I own a nude one and a red one, but I feel like I'm missing a rosy, pinky kind of lip liner, but not too pink, more rosy. But I would like to finish this one and bring one of them in. But overall, I'm not really scared of where my lip liner collection is, so no problem there. Alright, so now we are at lip gloss. So I started out the year with 6. My goal was to be at 5. I'm currently at 11, so clearly something went wrong. and my goal is actually to be a 10, which that we're gonna reach right now because this one right here is getting decluttered. The formula has changed. It smells really weird. I do no longer feel comfortable wearing it because the smell is just so strong. So we're just gonna part our ways. I do have a backup of this one right here. I go through lip gloss relatively quickly, so I'm not too worried about this category. And I do this out of everything in my collection gets the most used, so no worries there. I will for sure eventually finish them up, so no worries. Okay, so now we're moving on to tinted lip balms or anything of that category. So I did have a lip oil from Colourpop in Hot Shot, which I just went on a rampage looking for it and I could not find it. So I'm gonna take it out of my collection. If it somehow makes its way back to me, I'll add it back in. But as of right now, have no idea where it is. I was very close on almost being done with it, so even if I were to find it, I'm gonna be able to finish it relatively quickly. So that technically puts me at 4, though it should be 5. This one right here is literally almost done. I only have like maybe a week or 2 worth of use. Yes, this one I did just enter into a project pan. It should get done relatively quickly, and I do want to finish this one because it's not my favorite color. My goal in this category is actually to be at 3, but I want to take these ones out and have new ones. But this is a category that I do use relatively quickly, relatively a lot, and I do go through them relatively quickly. So I would like to get these 3 done. But currently we're at 4. I would like to be at 3, just not this one's. All right, cool. Moving. All right, we're moving along to bullet lipsticks. At the beginning of the year, I had 8. I currently have 7. My goal was to be at 5. My goal this year is to be actually at 3. And I'll tell you specifically which ones. So I would like to have, where is it? Nope. On Display, which is a red bullet lipstick. I would like to have the Mulan one, and then this one from Ulta. This one from ABH, I'm actually going to declutter. It's a really nice, like true like Snow White red. It's just that I don't like this formula, and I've asked my sister and she would actually really wants it, so that's going to her. It's actually also very old. And then these 3, I would actually like to finish them and then end up with just this 3 right here. I would potentially repurchase Ghosted, LA Lady, as well as Layover. I do like those 3, but I want to finish them first and repurchase them once these 3 are gone. But baby steps. For now, my goal will be to be at 3, but I currently have 6. Alright, so we're on the last makeup category now. This is the liquid lipsticks. I actually finished a handful of liquid lipsticks, but brought some new ones in. So I'm currently at 13. I was at 13. My goal was to be at 8. My goal now is actually to be at 5. I do have a backup of this one, not purposely, but what happened is that Colourpop sent me this one, but without a stopper, and it's a black liquid lipstick, okay? Who goes around without a stopper for a black liquid lipstick? If it was almost any other shade, I would have made it work, but not a black one. So they did send me a new one, and now that means that I have 2 black ones, and I did not need 2 black ones, but it is what it is. I have one, a backup, but I'm gonna see if I can try to find a home for it. I'm gonna see if I finish like one of my concealers and see if it, like one of them, like if I wash it and the stopper works for it, if I can fit it in the tube, like if it's the same size, and if it is, great, because I would like to pass this along, but I wouldn't feel comfortable passing along currently without a stopper. So potentially this might be out of my collection later, but not right now, because again, it doesn't have a stopper. So for now, I'm gonna keep it. Then we have these ones. I was actually debating on trying to pan this one. This is Christmas from L'Oreal Los Angeles. However, I did want to repurchase it because it's my absolute favorite red local lipstick. And I'll go on the website, and it's not just out of stock, it's not there at all. So I had to send an email to L'Oreal Los Angeles and be like, hey guys, will you guys be restocking this one like ever? Because my absolute favorite liquid lipstick, and I cannot live without it. I just did that like yesterday. So hopefully they email me back telling me that they will restock it, or if they won't restock it, then I'm probably gonna take my time finishing it up. It's still in really good condition, even though it's definitely one of the oldest liquid lipsticks I have, but I'm not ready to part with it. I am, however, gonna part with these four right here. So this one I bought in 2017, so it's old as fuck. And then we have this three that I bought in 2018. That one I barely use, and two, they're really, really, really old. So those are all moving along. So that puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, potentially gonna try to declutter this one. If I can just get a stopper for it. I'm gonna try to finish a concealer. I have one that I'm like working on finishing, and then I'm gonna clean the F out of that stopper and hopefully fits, right? We'll see. But currently, like I said, we are, I think I said 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would like to really get 8. My goal is to be at 5. So I'm at 9. My goal before was to be at 8. I would like to be at 5, honestly. I don't know what that looks like or which ones. I think I'm gonna try to focus on Cabana. Again, I really want to focus on these right here, but then I'm gonna try to focus on these two nude ones right here because I really, really like all the other ones that I have, and see where that goes. But even if I am at 8, if I can at least get rid of this one, because I definitely don't need 2 black liquid lipsticks, then I'll be happy. So that's that. Alright, so this is everything that I'm decluttering. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but honestly, for me it is, because I don't declutter that often. And my collection, as you guys see, it's big, but it isn't. So there's that. A lot of these are actually going to end up in the trash because they're just so old. The only things that I'm going to try to find homes for are these right here. So this for everything else, it's so old or expired where it really needs to go in the trash. So there's that. Okay, thank you, Athena, I appreciate it. I do have other random numbers to share with you guys of things that I keep track of on a daily basis. Give me a quick sec here. I had turned off my tablet, and just for better view, let's just look at Athena. Again, just for a better view. All right, so in January of this year, I had a total of 169 products. My goal was to be at 142. That did not happen, not even close. I am now currently at 198. My goal is actually to be 198. So overall, not too bad. There's just the numbers are a little bit like wonky where they're at. So there's that. Total eyeshadow pans, because I do can the pans singularly. I had 349 at the January of this year. My goal was to be at 345. That did not happen by a long shot. I'm currently at 423. My goal is really, I don't know what my goal is with that. Not go above 500. Because I know I definitely want to try newer formulas and whatnot. So I'm just going to try to be really, really mindful with my eyeshadows collection. So there's that. In January of this year, I was at 4.58% of pan. So that means that in my eyeshadows, whatever pan I had, I was at 4.58. My goal was to be at 6. I did not meet this goal. I'm currently at 388. A couple of reasons for that. Some shadows that I did have pan on, I ended up finishing up. Other is my percentage obviously went down because I increased the number of eyeshadows that I brought in. So there was that. So I'm currently at 388. My goal is still to be at 6%. If that is realistic or not, I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. So there's that. Oh, okay. I think that's everything that I have for you guys. So nothing major, just some of the, like say, miscellaneous numbers that I keep track of. And a beautiful Athena just to end things with, and a beautiful note. Look at how it's just so pretty. Okay, well that's it, because I'm sure this video is going to be pretty long. Tell me if you like this formatting better. It was significantly more work. But if you guys like it more this way, I'm willing to keep it this way. But just let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. And I'm curious to know what y'all's numbers are. I know my collection is not too big, but it's also not so crazy. I'm really interested to see what my numbers look like. and for my mid-year check-in, because one, I didn't get to have one this year, and two, I know there's a lot of products that I'm really close on finishing or whatnot, so really interested to know what those numbers look like at the beginning of the halfway through the year. So look forward to that, and that's it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and Athena shot. Bye y'all.